Welcome to GREYS, your one-stop shop to finding winners across Australia from the world of greyhound racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Hall of Famer Neil Brown, Jason Campbell to look at Queensland and Tasmanian chasing, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, New South Wales expert Simon Orchard, and the Shane Train Williams rounds it out with his key plays and kennel mail in WA. Now, over to the team for this week's edition of Great Greys.
Good morning and welcome along to Great Greys on this Thursday, the 30th of January 2025. David Shortte with you. Hope you're travelling particularly well. We've got a very busy program upcoming. The Shane Train, he won't be with us today. He's on a big bird all the way across to Ireland to spend a couple of weeks over there having a look at some of the chasing over there. So no train for a couple of weeks, but we will have the services of one of our great friends in Joe Lanuti for the next couple of weeks, which is a real treat. Also joining us, as always, we'll hear from Jason Campbell. Neil Brown, the Hall of Famer, will be with us. Also Sean Matheson to talk all things South Australian chasing, and Simon Orchard talking all things New South Wales chasing. But without further ado, let's welcome back to the program from Punters HQ, one of our great old mates in Joe Lanuti. Welcome to you, Joe. How have you been?
Yeah, good morning, Shorty. Good to be back. Yeah, very well. Just battling away, doing my best, and just enjoying a bit of family time. What about yourself?
Yeah, very similar. Back off a week's holiday down in the beautiful south of Western Australia in Albany, which was gorgeous. Had a great time with family, and great to be back on deck. Really looking forward to rolling up the sleeves and finding plenty of winners and ripping into the remainder of 2025. Really refreshed now. We've got so much to look forward to, and of course, here locally, the Sandgroper, it's a race that's really starting to grab some traction. The last couple of years have been outstanding, and the slot racing is something that Punters HQ have been a big part of here in Australia, Joe. It's something that it's really created a lot of excitement right around this great nation and helped to include a lot of new people into greyhound racing.
Yeah, it's been a good concept, Shortly, across all three codes, and we had a little bit of luck in the Phoenix, I think third with She's a Pearl, then we bought a slot and ran second with Postman Pat, and then, we got a slot in the Sandgroper, and might be the only race Explicit's ever lost, Shorty, when he chimed in with us. And he's broken every record in the book, but that probably sums us up. But it's very exciting when you get 8 of the very best greyhounds going toe-to-toe, and there's a few good organisations pumping the sport up. There's not many negatives.
No, it's a great experience. It creates a lot of hype, and I know certainly the Sandgroper, it's a little different, the fact we have the Western Trilogy with our other two codes being a part of sort of a big 3 or 4 days, but just being a part of it for the first time last year after being away for the first edition of it. It's great to see all three codes mingling together. It's wonderful for tourism here in Western Australia. It's got people talking about the sport, early on in the year, which is something that's really exciting over here. And I know that in the sport you've been involved in for a long period of time, to continue to improve, we need to innovate and come up with new ideas, and this is one that's been a real winner.
Yeah, have to, Shorty, absolutely. And a mate of mine, Björn Baker, he's obviously had a lot of success over there with the Quokka. He's in a couple of greyhounds with us as well, and he can't wait to come back year after year, obviously. But I think the best, don't quote me, but I think this year the Sandgroper is a few weeks after the Golden Easter egg, so there actually is an opportunity, I believe, to get the very best from the East Coast over to the West Coast, which is, let's face it, it's essential, and you want the calendar as best placed as it can be to get the very best dogs, and that's how hopefully it works moving forward.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you want the possibility to get the best possible field each and every time you have these feature races on. So that's something we're very much excited about later on in the year. How's the punting been going in recent times and in general? Obviously, She's a Pearl was a pretty reasonable benchmark. We know that you've had a lot of success on the way through, though, with a lot of the different dogs that you've had race for Punters HQ. Is there anything much going around at the moment that's creating excitement amongst the camp?
Oh, yeah, we're battling. Recently we won the New Zealand Cup, the biggest race in New Zealand at Addington in Christchurch, with a dog called One Hot Bandit. That's probably our most recent feature win. But yeah, he's a beauty. He was placed in the $1 million chase here, and he won a few fair races over here. I think he might be at over 300k prize money now. So it just ran third in another Group 1 on the weekend in Auckland, in the Auckland Cup. Was probably a tad unlucky not to win that. So yeah, he's a recent feature winner for us, Shorty. But I'll be deflecting this straight back to you. Like Steve Smith raised his bat after scoring 1. What about you with the cricket? What 180 to 1, 160 to 1? You'd still be counting it, wouldn't you?
It's been a very good summer, it must be said. Joe, thank you. That's very kind of you to shine the light on that for a moment. It's been a great summer, and as we well know, it's pretty challenging at times, the punting caper, but it's lovely when everything lines up. And unfortunately, we couldn't get the fifth prediction was Australia 3-1, and that took it up to around about 1,500 to 1, but I couldn't find anywhere that would allow us to put that bet on. So we had to take the 180 to 1 and the trebles and on the way down. But I'd like there to have been more days like that when the fifth test was run and won and we pressed refresh on a few of those account buttons, Joe. I don't think there'll be too many days like that in my punting lifetime, so we make the most of them.
180, haven't heard that since Luke Littler. No, well done, Shorty. You're absolutely airborne. And the Ashes today start in Melbourne, and I reckon Heather Knight might be in for a big score for the Pommies. I know it's day night with the pink ball, but she hit them well at Manuka. I went and watched that the other night. They were a tad unlucky with Duckworth Lewis and the rain around, so I reckon a bit of a watch on her. She sort of thrives at test level. Can't wait.
Excellent. Yeah, and you're right. They were very unlucky. They were coming with that late surge and the rain arrived and, oh, my goodness. We're off topic a little, but for the sake of cricket and cricket fans, please just dig in for 5 balls and finish that game of cricket. Honestly, who's in danger? You're out there that long for another 5 balls. Just umpires, just dig in. Players, dig in. 5 more balls. Finish the game off. It's what the punters are paid their dollars for. Anyway, the punters that are tuned in here are paid their dollars to listen to the great Joe Lanuti find some winners on this Thursday morning here in Perth. We were just talking about some success you've had in New Zealand, and you've got one for us to follow at Cambridge.
Oh, yeah, there's one coming up at Cambridge. I think he's the most exciting dog in the land. His name's Paul Bradley. I thought it's a little 4-dogger here in the last at Cambridge, on in about 20 minutes, Shorty. I thought he'd just be a no bet at 115, 120, but he's out to about 165, and they've backed a couple of kennel mates. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but he won't be leading, but he'll be rounding them up and running away. He's an absolute machine. If you follow your New Zealand greyhound racing, you want to black book this dog for the remainder of greyhound racing over there. It's another topic we won't touch on, but Paul Bradley, race 12, box 6, incredibly hard to beat. He'll just win race after race this year.
Very nice indeed. Stick with it. It's on shortly if you want to have a punt there. We've also got some chasing at Richmond, Wenny Park and Dapto tonight, and you've also looked into the crystal ball to Saturday night there at Wenny Park. Take us through your thoughts for Thursday chasing there in New South Wales.
There's a big straight track race at Richmond today. Staying out of that will be a good one. I think maybe race at 11. And one of your good dogs, Jimmy... Is it Jimmy Jet? Jimmy's Jet? It's in as well up the straight, but it's drawn out wide. It's Paul Stewart's dog by memory. It's drawn out wide, and last week, just desperately wanted to find the rail. So it's poorly drawn, obviously a very fast animal. But I've found one in race 10, box 1, Fumbles. It's just really well drawn here. It's only had the one go out of the red, which was a few starts ago at Richmond, and won the race comfortably. Boxes 2 and 3 will put no pressure on the red here at all. I just think he gets the right run from the inside. He's around $2.60, $2.70. He looks the best bet at Richmond up the straight. So race 10, box 1, Fumbles. Go to Wentworth Park tonight. Found a couple. Race 1, box 4, Ritza Duan. Really should just be able to get the right run in behind him. There's a few here that are going to struggle to run the trip. And I think Ritza, however we say it, Duan, will be able to just finish over the top. Similar price, around that $2.70 mark. And we go to race 4 on the program at Wenny. For the other best is a dog called Cunningham. He's only drawn box 1 once as well in his career, and he won that one just like Fumbles. He's drawn really well here behind a stack of speed. They'll all roll forward, especially 2 and 3. and I just think he gets the camp on them. And around the $4 mark looks a really nice gamble. Race 4, box 1, Cunningham. So 1-4 Ritz-Edouane, 4-1 Cunningham. There's one in the last shorty, short enough, but for the country practice fans, Esme Watson, I reckon old Esme, wasn't she an absolute beauty? And I think she can finish over the top in the last. So, all right, and we'll go to Dapto as well. Race 4 at Dapto tonight, box 8, greyhound called Tell Me Again. She's $7 into $4. I don't think she's a winning hope, but I think she can run a place. Should get back out to black odds a place, and she's really well drawn out wide. Couple might be a little bit quicker than her, but she'll sort of stay 3-4 wide the entire. Mind their own business. I think she can land on the podium. 4-8, Tell Me Again. And we go to race 7, and we found another pink runner, Pandora Lass, another bitch as well, out of box 8. She's well drawn, can show really good pace, and she's around $3.10, $3.20. So I think at Dapto we go 4-8, Tell Me Again, a place, 7-8, Pandora Lass. And Wentworth Park on Saturday night, as you touched on, I found 2. Race 9, box 8, August Bob. I know he hasn't won from box 8, but he has from 6 and 7. He was out for 6 months. He's had 3 runs back in the provincials at Nowra. He broke the clock the other day. I know the track's quick at Nowra, but he went really well. This is the 4th and 5th grade. He can definitely win. Race 9, box 8, August Bob. And in race 11, Noemi, assuming it's named after the Fox sisters, with the slalom, the canoeists. I think Noemi will be big odds, and I reckon she's knocking on the door for another win. Hopefully we can get her around 10-1. It'd be nice. She's definitely each way, but she can win. She's been a little bit unlucky the last couple, but has got a motor. Wentworth Park Saturday, 9-8 August Bob, 11-7 Noemi.
Noemi, very nice. Race 11, number 7 this Saturday night, Wentworth Park punters. Great to be catching up this morning with our man Joe Lanuti, and hopefully, if it suits him okay, we might get you in again next week, if that's all right, Joe, while the train is over there in Ireland. He lives a pretty decent life, the big fellow.
London to a brick. He's had 4 pints of Guinness already, Shorty. I'll be here if you need me.
I'll tell you what, it'd be a pretty decent chaser too over there. I'd suggest that you'd like to be having your money on some canines that'll be chasing as keenly as the train over there. He's got something going on for the Irish fillies, so I'd be locking them up if I was tuned in from the Emerald Isle as we speak. Great catching up there, Joe. All the best.
Take care, Shorty.
There we have it, Joe Lanuti with us. Great to be catching up with him on this Thursday morning here on Great Greys.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
Well, it's now 17 minutes after 10 o'clock. Let's catch up with our man Jason Campbell to have a look at chasing tonight there at Albion Park as well as down there in Hobart. G'day, JC. How do you do?
Very well, Shorty. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. Come back refreshed, had a wonderful week away down in Albany, a beautiful part of WA, and looking forward to getting back into finding some winners. You're continuing to do a great job with that. We've got a good program to look forward to tonight up there at Albion Park. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's probably the best program that Albion Park will see for about 6 months. You've got the Gold Bullion, Group 1 level, $250,000 for the winner. Really strong field engaged this year, good odds cover. Most likely will start favourite off the red box. He won that golden ticket a fortnight ago to gain entry into this race without having to go around last week. So that's obviously really good for him. He gets into this race on the fresh side. He ran really well on a post-to-post last week. So he's going to be hard enough to beat. He's got that box 1 where he's won 6 of his 7 starts. So he's a deserving favourite. And in the Gold Cup, another Group 1 race, I think it's $100,000 for the winner over the staying trip. F&O Water, she was brilliant last week. She's quickly becoming a staying superstar. She has a great mixture of speed and strength, and she's a deserving favourite in that race from Black Silence. So Tommy Savellis has got this dog absolutely flying. He's won both his starts up there by large margins in quick time. So the Prince, the show rolls on for him. He's had a really good year, obviously, last year, and he started this year red hot. So he's had probably an 18 months to remember, Shorty.
Big style. Yeah, you're 100% correct, Tommy. He has been singeing it up there, not just at Albion Park, of course, all around the Queensland tracks, but particularly Thursday nights at Albion Park. He has been absolutely owning it, and he heads into that feature there tonight with Black Silencer looking to make it 3 on the trot. Is really adapted very nicely to the Albion Park circuit. Ethanol water, as you touched on, one that we've been with for a long time now. One of the Droopy Sydney My Ethanol litter, and of course Ethanol Volume continues to be another dog from that litter that's done great things. Late Night News is another really interesting runner in that field tonight. It's been responsible for some outstanding performances there at Wentworth Park over the 720. It's a really deep staying feature, and as you've touched on as well, that Gold Bullion final, it has drawn together an outstanding lineup. And what's been interesting in the build-up, we've seen a lot of these dogs one-on-one against each other, but who's going to be the dog that's got the field sense, JC? That's the unique part of this series and this race, is because they've had the golden ticket and the different ways they've gone about it. We know that there's a lot of fast dogs amongst this field, but it hasn't necessarily always been the fastest dog that's been winning these match races. It's been the dog that's, the smartest dog, pardon me. It's always been the fastest dog. But in these conditions, we're now looking at a lot of these greyhounds are going to just need that little bit of luck, and they're going to have to navigate their way through 8 runners rather than just one.
Yeah, I've pulled my hair out of what's left of it getting through this meeting tonight. It's very difficult. A lot of high-quality dogs, especially the Gold Bullion, and especially some of the other races. I've been very cautious with my betting and staking tonight. I think it's going to be a very tough night. You can make a case for pretty much every runner in a lot of the feature races tonight. They're all flying. And I think with that Gold Bullion, Good Odds Collar probably holds that key for the race. It depends how he begins. He does like to angle off the track a little bit. But if he does hold the front, he's going to be hard to run down. He's got a lot stronger with age, which you'd expect that with a lot of greyhounds. But he's aging like fine wine, the cobber. He's won 4 of his last 5, and he had that really nasty fall about 2 or 3 months ago, but it's obviously not deterred him whatsoever. I think he's going to make a great stud dog down the track, Good Odds Cobber. He's got brilliant chase. He's run really fast times across the eastern seaboard, and I think he'll be a dog, hopefully 5 years' time. My prediction comes true and can throw a few winners.
Yeah, good durability and just a real winner. 53 starts, 31 wins, 11 placings. He's one of the most reliable dogs in work, that's for sure and certain. And we spoke of Tommy Zavalis. He's got 2 here. Pardon me, someone's popped a bit of pepper on the dashboard here. Deadly Avenger has drawn box 4, and Dacey's Rory has drawn box number 6. So certainly Tommy Zavalis to the fore in both of the features there tonight at Albion Park. They're the 2 main races, JC. What about the remainder of the program? You got a couple of nice bets for us?
Yeah, race 3, number 5, Magistrate. I made him the best bet on the program. I thought he was brilliant last week. He went straight to the front, just got run down by Vincent Bale, who's currently second favourite in that Gold Bullion that we've just mentioned. The key to this race is there's just limited speed, early speed in this race, more than money in box 1. Can begin on occasion, but he does like to angle off the track, so I think he could get crowded there from box 1. Magistrate should find the front very, very easily. Autumn Storm's probably the one danger late in this piece, but she is a bitch that will probably step quite well off the mat, but hits that flat spot getting into that first corner. She roars home, run home around 12.60 last week, which is absolutely flying. We've seen her go really well over the middle distance, and she's definitely a bitch that I think you can put in your black book. Maybe a month or two's time, I reckon she'll get up to that 700-metre mark and be a really nice front-running stayer for the King, Thomas Zavalis. Prince, sorry, not the King. He's trained like the King.
He is indeed. Yeah, there'll be plenty of punters calling him the King, that's for sure, the way he's been going of late. And then a little later into the program, first leg of the quarter, you've got one for us. Yeah,
this is the Country Cup final. A lot of these dogs I know back to front doing the form at Rockhampton and Townsville, and obviously owning a few dogs throughout my time up there. And I think Tanya Escape in box 7, she is a bit, so I think has high quality. I think up to 600 metres down the track. If the connections were to move her into town to be trained there permanently, I think she'll go really well over the middle distance. She's very, very strong at the back end of 500 at Rockhampton. I think the slightly tougher run at Albion Park will definitely suit her. And no not to play dirty since she's got to the Dallas Beckett Kennel. He's won 9 on the bounce. He's a really, really nice chaser, and he's going to be really hard to run down. But I think Tanya Escape at the price is a very, very good bet to run second and potentially knock off the favourite.
Nice. Double figure odds, if you don't mind here. Punters, Can You Escape? $10 and $2.35 on the fixed odds with Tab Touch. So well worth having a little spec on the 7 in race number 5. And maybe take some knobs with 6 and 7 to run first, second, first, third with the field around it. Might be a nice way to get a result out of that first leg of the quaddie race number 5 tonight there, the Country Cup final, JC.
That's what I'll be doing myself. I just think the dog in boxes 1 and 3, Stephen Scott's pair, they both are really, really good lid-singing dogs, but Rockhampton 510 compared to an Albion Park 520 is probably the best part of 3 tenths harder for those dogs. So I think they've got to really curl up late in the piece, and you've got to get the stronger dogs like Tanya, Escape and Play Dirty coming over the top of them late, and I think they can run 1-2 that pair.
Like it. We'll be on the swoop late, and that's a great price. Double figure odds. Race 5, number 7, Kenya Escape to go along with race 3, number 5, Magistrate. We head down to Tasmania tonight, chasing in Hobart. They'll be running wild down there after the Hurricanes took out the Big Bash title. No doubt plenty of punters still celebrating long and strong, JC. Those that are heading to the track tonight, who should they be backing?
Yep, no, I was cheering home the Hurricanes because the Thunder knocked out my boys, the Sixers. So very happy to see Mitch Owen and all the boys get a nice victory there. That looked like Bell Reeve was absolutely pumped, and I wish I was down there. Anyway, race 4, number 4, Windburn Flyer. This dog finally broke through for his maiden victory 2 starts ago. I think this race is really good for him on a place perspective. He is a dog that has absolutely no speed. He's got to flop out to last, head straight back to the rails. Very hard rail, this dog. The key to this race, all 3 runners underneath him have great speed. They should clear him easily, which should mean he gets the clean run in transit. And none of them are really strong in that last 50 metres. So I think he can be storming through along the rails, picking up a couple of them and maybe potentially running second or even winning the race if he can fall over late.
Fair enough too. And once again, we're getting a nice price, $2.10 the hole here and $9 the win. That is race 4, number 4, Windburn Flyer. So place heavy, go there. And then deeper into the card, race number 9. Yeah,
playing with 7 here, Freya's Bailey. Admittedly, she doesn't have the greatest record, only the 2 wins from 56 starts, but you only have to go through this race, listeners and Shorty. It's a few of the great thinkers, probably Einstein and the likes, would be very proud of some of these dogs. They've got really atrocious records to the eye. But Freya's Bailey, she's got no cat in her, even though her record suggests that. She just isn't a good dog. She's got speed and a few decent traits, but she just keeps bumping into one better. I think tonight she definitely gets her night. She's really well drawn. I think the 4 here, Step On It, will burst straight to the front. She'll lob in the second, and I think she's stronger with the 2 late in the piece, as she's proven over the last couple of weeks when the 2 have had their little head-to-head duels. So I'm pretty keen on Freya's Bailey here. She's obviously a short price, but she might get out a little bit late in the piece just because of her atrocious record to the eye.
Oh, she's no orphan in this lineup, though, punters. This has to be close to the worst lineup I've ever spotted at a greyhound track. It is absolutely shambolic. I'll just briefly take you through it. Walmount, Zip for 43. Not So Equal, 1 of 11. Awesome Emily, 1 from 54. Step On It, 1 of 16. Brindle Product, 1 from 22. Hester Road, 3 from 31. Hester's looking like Brett Lee in this lineup. Freya's Bailey, 3 from 56. And Blissful Lady, yet to win from 19 attempts. My goodness. If you're going home with a dog that's not hitting the podium here, there's some pretty tough times in store.
Yeah, there is. I'm not going to say anything more about that race because I'll probably get cancelled.
Well, let's roll with race 9, number 7. Anyway, we'll be cheering hard for the Black Rug, Freya's Bailey. At least there's 3 from 56 and a further 20 placings there. So tonight may well be the night there for Freya. Let's hope that's the case. To go along with race 4, number 4, Windburn Flyer, the place up at Albion Park, 3-5 Magistrate, 5-7 Kenya Escape. Now, JC, the Friday Jet Set podcast is still in limbo at the moment, but I've been posting up tips for all meetings. If you get time and you'd like to handball down the line anything for Wentworth Park on Saturday, we'll post it there. If you're too busy, that's okay as well. But we'll be getting around all of your stuff, mate, and following it all, of course, via the X platform. Make sure you get around Jace Campbell there for all of the latest in greyhound racing. Have a ripper weekend, JC. Look forward to our chat again next week.
Too easy, Shorty. All the best, mate.
There we have it, Jace Campbell with us here on Great Greys, where it's now 28 minutes after 10. We'll throw back to Matty.
This is your home of the greyhound good oil, Great Greys.
Yes, and a man that finds plenty of good oil for us each and every Thursday is our Hall of Famer Neil Brown, having a look at the Sandown card for tonight. G'day, Brownie.
Yes, David, we were red hot last week. Pity we had that little break because I'm not sure I could deliver the same divvies tonight. But anyway, we'll be hard at it. 8 winners last week and the 2 best bet got up, so there you go.
Oh, my timing wasn't great to have a week off, Brownie, was it?
That's history, mate. Let's see what we can find tonight. Pretty tough card.
That is the truth. Let's see what we can come up with, though. The first leg of the quaddie tonight there of the early quaddie, race number 1, comes up WA time at 1 minute past 4. It's the Nobody Does It Easier over the 515 metres, scratching 4 winning steps, and number 9, Whatever George. Black Business is our $2.45 fixed odds favourite with Tab Touch. How are we starting the early quaddie tonight, Brownie?
Yeah, I like the dog off the red, Whatever Jack. I think it's a fairly open race with a few chances. I'm only going to take 1, 2 and 5. Got Whatever Jack on top there over the 5.15 for the mixed stake. The second is a grade 6 over the 5.15. And I think I'm going to take 4, 5 and 1 here. Just take the 3. Make Me King. Nice winner on the track in fair time. Led all the way last start, so I think he's a chance to win again. 4, 5 and 1 in the second league. Race number 3, it's a tough race. Again, I'm only going to take the 3 here, 1, 2 and 7. I've got Just Divine on top. Well drawn here in box number 1. South Australian form was pretty solid and just an even race. So 1, 2 and 7 there. Coming home in the early quad with, again, just taking the 3. I like the greyhound off the 8, won its last couple. Solid heat winner. This is a Warrigal to Sandown final over the 5.15. I've got Overland Boy on top, but I'm going to take 4 and 1 to round out the early quad. Going into the main quad tonight, we've got a 5.15 mixed stake, 4th and 5th graders here. Interesting race. I like the greyhound drawn in box number 2, Mapungarolli. Begins okay, solid win off the red here a couple of starts ago, so I've got it on top, but certainly chances to 4 and 3, Paul Vortex and Amron Tiger. They just don't begin all that flash, but certainly got chances in the race if they have a little bit of luck in running, got plenty of ability both. So we're going to take 2, 4 and 3. The important scratching in race number 6 here over the 5.15 for the free-for-allers tonight is Joey the Jet. Changes the race. I thought it was fairly open anyway. I'm going to take 6, 4 and 1. I've got Ollie Bale on top. It's racing well enough to win a race at this standard. I did like the run of Silky Sauce last week. It was a good win. It's a reasonable odds tonight, and I think the greyhound drawn in box number 1 has fallen out its last couple stormy day, but got plenty of ability and is a fast winner here on the track in 29.19. We'll take 6, 4 and 1 in the free-for-all, second leg of the main quad. Race number 7, it's a hard race open here over the 5.95 for the grade 5ers. I'm going to stretch here and take 4, 1, 7, 3 and 6. I've got Sunset Wisp, I think it's the greyhound drawn okay. Looks like it might be able to lead from box number 1, but it is an open race, and if a bit of luck comes for the outside couple there, Paul Grady and Mr. Reesy, they could well and truly be in the race. And I'm going to take Miss Mary Jo as well. So open race, the third leg, 1, 7, 3, 6. Race number 8, here over the 5.95 against a mixed stake, 4th and 5th graders. I think the winner will come from the inside 3. I think they're the 3 in the market as well. Utrillo Bale from the red, I like. It's due for a win. It's drawn well. It's been in and around the placings for 4 or 5 starts. I think it might break through tonight. Whereas Bale, always a chance. And Paul Quimby, I think, is a fast winner here in 34.07. Definitely a chance. I think the winner will come from 1, 2 or 3. Looking for some better bets tonight, Dave. Didn't think anything really stood out. I do like in race 9, Kenya Nitrate. There's a couple of scratchings. Got an empty box beside it now. They were betting sort of around the 240, 250 mark. So I think it could get the cash tonight. Race 9, number 2, Kenya Nitrate over the 5.15. and I might have a Quinella in race 11, David. I think the two on the inside will fight it out. Winner Goes and My Hummingbird. They're both 270, 420, so we might get a nice result for the Quinella there in race 11. So good luck and good punting at Sandown Park tonight on what's a pretty tough card.
Beautifully done, Brownie. Appreciate your time as always here on Great Greys. How's the weather over there in your neck of the woods at the moment?
Well, it's not nice and reasonably cool today, about 24 degrees and a bit overcast, so the weather's not too bad, mate, but it's going to be like this and really warm up for the weekend, so not a lot of rain about in the last couple of weeks, but, quite pleasant today, David, and look forward to a very pleasant night out at Sandown Park tonight.
Oh, I'm sure anybody getting out there will have a wonderful time. Always looked after like royalty trackside there at Sandown. Neil and the team will be doing that if you're tuned in and heading out there to Sandown tonight. All the best to you, Brownie. Have a wonderful evening.
Good on you, David. I'll talk to you next week, mate.
There we have it, Neil Brown, our Hall of Famer here, and always great to catch up with him on Great Greys, where it's now 25 minutes away from 11 o'clock. If you missed those quaddies, the early 1, 2 and 5, leg 1, 4, 5 and 1, leg 2, 1, 2 and 7, leg 3, home with 8, 4 and 1. And in the main quaddie, first leg 2, 4 and 3, second leg 6, 4 and 1, third leg 1, 7, 3 and 6, home with 1, 2 and 3. His better bets 9, 2, Can You Nitrate, and then race 11, numbers 1 and 2 in a Quinella. Matty, our next race for broadcast here on the program comes up at 10 minutes to 11, respectively.
You are tuned into Shorty and the team on Great Greys.
And we cross the border and head into South Australia and have a look at greyhound racing there. Our man, as always, Sean Matheson, to help us find a few winners for the big program tonight there at Angle Park, as well as into the weekend. Welcome to you, Sean. How do we find you today?
Yeah, terrific, David. Yeah, great to be back on the show and glad that you're back as well and hope you had a nice bit of time off. It'd be well deserved. So hopefully you enjoyed that. But yeah, great to be on the show with you today to talk greyhound racing in South Australia.
Indeed, yeah, I did. Had a wonderful time down in the south of the state in Albany, Sean. Have you ever been down to Albany here in the west?
I haven't. No, I haven't got to Albany. I'm a city man. I've just been in the city, but I haven't got to Albany. So definitely, certainly would be one of the places to go. When I have a bit more time and I can venture out and discover a bit more of WA the next time I'm across.
It's a bucket list spot, absolutely. Next time you come across for a holiday to the west, make sure you get down there. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of WA. The beaches are gorgeous, wonderful people down there, lots to do, lots of great sightseeing sort of stuff, but just a lovely temperature down there as well. It's been really hot in the metro area and it's sort of a little bit cooler down there in Albany, so it's been very nice indeed. One thing that hasn't been cool though is your tipping. It remains hot. We've got 12 races to look at tonight there at Angle Park. Where should we be having a bet?
Terrific, yeah, really good program tonight, David. The first of the best bets will come up in race 4 and it's number 2 Finish Jewel for Ryan Tugwell. Finish Jewel started her campaign here in South Australia, very impressive young type, middle distance dog, went to Victoria, ran really well and has come back to South Australia and first up back in the state, ran a really nice third over the 595 last Thursday night, copped some pressure early, so found a little bit of trouble but ran home really well to run home into third place. Drawn in box 2, vacant box on her outside. She'll get every opportunity to go forward in the race and be very, very hard to beat. She's at that even money quote. She's already had some support. You wouldn't want her to probably dive in too much into the red figures, but, I mean, it's good there's been support for her. I think she'll run really well, and she's definitely a dog to follow in the future now she's back into South Australia.
Very nice. Race 4, number 2, Finish Jewel on top to get the job done for Ryan Tugwell there tonight after some pretty decent performances across there in Victoria over the longer trips in recent times. Second of your plays tonight at Angle Park?
The second of the plays is a value play, and it's in race 6, and it's the feature of our night, which is the Doug Payne SA bred feature for our best SA bred sprinters. And I like number 5, Bewitch tonight, for Lauren Harris. Again, Ryan and Lauren hopefully are going to have a good night tonight. She's quoted at $9, which I think is a very good price for her in what is an open race and an open race of quality. I mean, she's on the back of she ran 6th in our feature final last week in the John Gray, but she won 4 races before, and 2 starts ago she went 30.47, coming out in a 5.19. At this level, she's going to have to come out around that 5.25, and that'll put her right in the picture. She's got a black chip drawn on her inside who'll want to get to the rail, and Pet Detective does come out quite good. But I think that she is a real progressive type. She really had no luck last week. As I said, 2 starts ago, she can replicate that. She can beat this very, very strong field. And at the $9, David, that is such a good price for her, I think.
I agree 100%. One of the very talented Zambora Brocky Tawitchery litter. She was a good bitch from years gone by. Great versatility, thrown it into her pups, and Bewitch, a winner, 7 of 14, track and trip, 50% hit rate. You're getting just under double figure odds. I can absolutely understand why Sean's keen on this being an each way bet tonight. Race 6, number 5, Bewitch. And the third of your plays tonight?
Third of the plays comes up in race 8. And it's number 3, Impulsive Miss. She's quoted around $3.40 for Michelle Moon. This is a final of heats that were conducted last Thursday night. She stepped up to the 500 metres for the first time last Thursday night from box 2 and ran a really strong second behind Bookaloo, who has drawn out in 8 tonight and is the race favourite. I just think she'll be improved by that performance. She ran home really well, and I think she just gets a better run into the race. The 2-dog Springvale Shell will come out running and should just give her a nice lead in. Don't worry too much that it's only her second 500-metre run. She's bred exceptionally well by Collision Miss Esme, so she will definitely get a trip. So I expect her to land just in behind the speed, and just with that benefit of last week's performance, hopefully be too strong for them at the end.
Alrighty, so tonight, Angle Park, race 4, number 2, Finish Jewel, race 6, number 5, Bewitch, race 8, number 3, Impulsive Miss, around that $3.60 mark tonight there with Tab Tuts. That looks like a nice 3 greyhound sort of parlay multi to roll through, and each way certainly Bewitch at the good prices. Hopefully we can get some nice results out of those 3 this evening at Angle Park. The greyhound racing continues on Friday. We've got the meeting at Gawler. It's an early start, 8:37 WA time. Speaking of early start, Saturday morning, 6:32 WA time, the Angle Park meeting there, the time-graded affair. And on Sunday, we've got the early kick-off there with Mount Gambier, and later on into the afternoon, more chasing to look forward to across there in South Australia. So take us through your thoughts for the weekend of chasing upcoming.
So just my thoughts, David. So tomorrow at Gawler, I like race 6, number 1, Anara Bale for Darren Camporelli. A good winner over 500 metres 2 runs ago. Dropped back to the 400 metres last start. No luck, flashing home in running second. Drawn perfectly in box 1. Steps back to the 500 metres. Going to be very, very hard to beat tomorrow at Gawler. Saturday morning, Angle Park. Again, the early morning start. But I like race 10, number 7, Sparks Flying for Paul Fagan. Has come from wide draws her last 2. She was a good winner 2 starts ago. Not an overly strong field. I expect her to pretty much be able to lead this race. Be very hard to beat. As you mentioned, the Mount Gambier meeting, I don't have a tip for Mount Gambier, but it does move to the morning time slot for anyone following Mount Gambier because of the hot weather. And Murray Bridge that we normally have on a Sunday night has been cancelled already because of the hot weather. And I'd just be mindful, a bit like the Perth or the WA people with the hot spell. We're getting it in Adelaide, particularly from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So just be mindful where some of our meetings would normally be. They might have moved around a little bit. We'll try to manage it as best we can with our Greyhounds participants to avoid the heat, but I'd just be mindful of just where some of those meetings are. Bearing in mind, Sunday night at Murray Bridge is cancelled, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just be mindful of our meetings there.
Indeed, yeah, and a few changes, rearranges. It could be sort of moving significantly forward or indeed a fair way back, whatever can sort of be accommodated to fit into the Sky schedule, and also so that the greyhounds can race in the cooler conditions. Magnificent catching up with you, Sean. Appreciate your time as always here on Great Greys. Have a ripper weekend. We'll catch up again next week.
Thanks, David. Always appreciate your time.
There we have it. Sean Matheson on this Thursday morning on Great Greys.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
Well, it's 11:15 and it's time to catch up with Simon Orchard to talk all things New South Wales greyhound racing. A pile of New South Wales top-end talent strutting their stuff tonight there at Albion Park. Welcome to you, Simon Orchard. No doubt plenty of eyeballs and plenty of support cheering on the New South Wales Brigade tonight up there at Albion Park.
Yeah, g'day Shorty, g'day listeners. You're spot on, mate. Good odds Cobber headlining the show, isn't he? Box 1, Frankie Hurst, Tracy Hurst will be over the moon that they finally get a gun draw in a big race. We saw it in the Gosford Cup, a month ago. He had to be scratched, unfortunately, after drawing the cherry, trying to defend his title there. But he goes to the Gold Bullion worth, I think, $250,000. So it'll be a big race scalp. Cobber's won the Megastar, so he's a Group 1 winner. But in terms of prize money, he probably hasn't had a really big race win yet, but plenty of features along the way. So cheering for him, of course. And late night news, well, he's emerging, if not already, the best stayer in New South Wales. So we wait to see what will happen up there. Tough ask in the staying race, but good luck to Caroline Hughes, and hopefully they all travel safe and get around safe as well.
Indeed, yeah, it's going to be a big night of chasing up there, but plenty of very good chasing still in your backyard. Meetings galore. We've got Richmond up and running at the moment, Wentworth Park, Dapto weekend chasing at Wenny Park. I'll handball across to your good self. You could take us through your better bets over the next few days.
Yeah, you mentioned Richmond, Shorty. You can get on one this afternoon. I reckon in the Richmond Straight Cup. It's race 11 on the program. It's a hot race with plenty of good straight tack dogs. We couldn't have asked for a much better final. Sheasel, the current favourite at the moment. If he jumps, he's quick enough to run away from them and win. But boxed terribly, Shorty. Wants to be out wide. Kenya Untamed is undefeated in 9 starts up the Richmond Straight. Deserves to be in the frame as well as one of the favourites. But I just think they're all going to get in the way of each other, Shorty. And I reckon Just a Monarch each way. So maybe a value play this afternoon. Race 11, number 4. It will miss the kick, guaranteed. It will probably be last, but if everything else jumps and crashes into one another, Just a Monarch could be the dog that's flying home. Proved it last week with a great heat win, 5 wins up the straight, and at the price, I think you're getting about $11 or $12 this morning. So each way, that'd be my play in the Richmond Straight Cup final. It's 11-4 this afternoon. You've got a couple more hours if you want to jump on. If you're going to have a bet tonight, Casino 10-8 Jojo Valley, best bet up in the Northern Rivers. That's 10-8 at Casino. Dapto, 9-2 Surroundings, getting a little bit short now, but maybe one for the multiples if you want to play a multi tonight. Dapto, 9-2 Surroundings. And I'll be at Wenty Park, trackside, race 6, number 1, Sammy Ethan, best bet of the night. A greyhound that's not Group 1 calibre necessarily, although has been in a couple of big group finals, but he's just a shade below the absolute best. He's a very consistent commodity for the Gat Cannon. 6-1 Sammy Ethan drawn to run a big race there tonight. It's the best bet on the program. Saturday, if you want to have a play around Wentworth Park as well, there's 2 dogs going around in race 5, Shorty, Lawbook and King Tide, the litter mates who are going to be stars to watch over the staying trip this year. I think Lawbook's the better prospect just based off the draw, race 5, number 3 on Saturday, and 7-4 Alan Keeping, another dog who was a really good winner last week, just burrowed his way through after missing the start completely and won in pretty sharp time. So he just needs to jump a little bit better. I think he's going to be hard to beat Saturday night as well. So just a quick recap. Saturday, 5-3 Lawbook, 7-4 Alan Keeping. If you want to have a play today, Casino 10-8 Jojo Valley, Dapto 9-2, Wenty Park, 6-1 Sammy Ethan, and Just a Monarch each way. That would give us a really good kitty to head into the night if you're having a play today in New South Wales.
Indeed, and we're cheering hard for good odds Cobber tonight there as well to get the job done in that sprint race. One of our favourites, Frankie Hurst. He's a great man for the sport, great promoter, real larrikin. Would love to see the Cobber get the job done off the inside for Frankie tonight. Beautifully done as always, Simon. Love your work. Have a ripper weekend. We'll catch up again this time next week.
Thanks, Shorty. Uru.
480.
This is your home of the greyhound good oil, Great Greys.
Where it is now 9 minutes away from 11 o'clock. A big thanks to all of our guests today. If you've missed from the start of the program, I'll be uploading these to the Tab Touch blog as well as across our social media platforms. A little later on this afternoon, we heard from Joe Lanuti looking at Cambridge, Richmond, Wentworth Park, Dapto and the weekend Wentworth Park program. Jace Campbell joined us to look at Albion Park tonight as well as Hobart. Neil Brown with his early and late quaddie at Sandown as well as Better Bets. Sean Matheson talking all things SA chasing, and we just rounded out with Simon Orchard having a look at all of the chasing in New South Wales at Richmond Casino, Dapto, Wentworth Park Thursday and Saturday. For me tonight, very keen race 6, number 1, Kenya Iceman. This dog is a box 1 bandit. Should be getting the job done. I thought it was a bit of a standout. I like race 10, number 2, You're Busted, as a roving banker play. Very rare that it misses the camera spots. And race 11, number 5, Stu McFly, looks a super chance. Very talented greyhound, well placed in grade 4 company with a safe getaway. It will be very hard to beat. The train, he's keen. Race 3, number 2, Black Ness. First of his plays tonight. Race 6, number 1, he's with me on Kenya Iceman. And he's also with me with race 11, number 5, Stu McFly. So our double ups, race 6, number 1 and race 11, number 5. I'll be taking that multi tonight at Mandurah. Give them both strength. Matty McDermott, wonderful to be back working with you on this Thursday morning. Thanks as always for your great work there. TAB Radio headquarters. To everybody tuned in, wishing you all many winners for the remainder of this Thursday. Make sure you tuned in again tomorrow morning. For Greyhound fans between 9 and 10, chasing winners, I'll be teaming up with Jesse Earnshaw and the great man Peter O'Neill, looking to find the winners for Friday night chasing at Mandurah and the big Saturday night card out there at Cannington. All the best, Matty.